Hello and welcome back to another episode of Unleashing Brilliance. It's wonderful to have you here. Now, I don't know what your last few months have been like, but everywhere I have been looking, listening, watching, they're feeling a little bit heavy. Everywhere we turn, it feels like we're being told to brace, to bunker down, to prepare for the worst. And the media seems to be full of warnings, economic slowdowns, client hesitations, tightening budgets, etc., etc. And maybe, like many of us, you felt that creeping sensation, fear. Not the dramatic movie trailer kind of fear, but that low hum in your gut. The what if I'm not ready fear. The what if I fail fear. The what if they say no fear. Now, I want to be clear here. Fear is not the enemy. Fear is information. And today I want to explore how we can use it, not to stop, but how we can use it to keep going. So you might have seen I wrote recently about jumping into the ocean. You see, here's the thing. I grew up in the north of England, and I want you to imagine cold grey seas and coastlines, the ones that don't exactly invite you in with a lovely warm hug. It's not like where I'm living now here in Sydney on the northern beaches. So naturally, for me, when it came to open water, I was terrified. By the way, any of you that are listening to this that grew up in England, you'll know that we didn't really learn to swim properly. Part of it is because we avoided public swimming pools, or maybe that was just me. But when it came to ocean and when it came to open water, I was absolutely terrified. And even after moving to Australia, land of golden beaches and ocean dips and just gorgeous, nice, warm oceans, that fear didn't magically disappear. My husband would laugh because he's a surfer and he'd race into the water, loving the waves. My kids would do the same, jumping in with their boogie boards, body surfing. Meanwhile, I'm waiting for nice and still Mediterranean Ocean. And, this would happen all the time, that I'd watch from the sand, smiling on the outside, but with this knot in my stomach every single time as the waves crashed in. I'm absolutely useless. The fear kept me standing still. But here's the thing, that's what fear does. It convinces us that standing still is safer, that waiting is wiser, that someone else with more confidence and more preparation, something should go first. But something shifted for me, and it started with a little nudge. It was actually a running dare that changed me via my friend and running partner, the amazing Kelly. You see, we were doing our regular runs, our regular Monday, Friday, start the week, end the week runs. Breathless, sweaty, all in. And one morning she turns to me and says, let's finish this run with an ocean dip. Now, I don't even think she is more of a water baby because she's also from England too. But, I'm always up for a challenge. And everything in me screamed no. But out came this tiny voice, the one that knew I was capable of more than my fear. And it said, all right, let's do it. That first time, oh my gosh, absolute chaos. Cold, shock. I think I squealed. Actually, I don't think I squealed. I think I screamed loud enough to wake up the entire neighborhood. But I also felt something else. I felt exhilaration. I felt pride. I felt relief. I felt a flicker of courage. And the next time we went out running, we did it again and again and again. And every single day that we did this, day by day, the ocean stopped being the monster that I'd imagined it to be, and it became something entirely different. It became a mark of my bravery. This wasn't about becoming a triathlete or ticking a fear off a bucket list. It was actually about reclaiming my power, one dip at a time. And maybe for you, the ocean looks a little bit different. It could look like putting your face to camera and going live for the first time. It could be turning up like I am on a podcast, on camera, because this is going out to YouTube too. It could be finally charging what you're worth, or saying no to that energy sucking client, or even booking that speaking gig that you feel wildly unqualified for. But here's the truth that most people won't tell you. You don't need to feel fearless to be brave. You just need to act, a one tiny act, and find a way to do it while still afraid. And the bonus points? When you make that action part of your existing routine, like we did with those post-run dips, it becomes easier, it becomes normalized, it becomes empowering. You go from saying, I can't do this, to I am going to do this. And here's where it starts getting really interesting, because fear shuts us down whilst curiosity opens us up. So instead of asking, what if I fail? What about asking yourself, what might I learn? What might I gain? What might become possible if I tried? I invite you to get playful with it, because fear wants us to believe the outcome is disaster. Curiosity, meanwhile, wants us to believe the outcome is growth. And that switch, that's where confidence is built. I want to give you a few examples from inside my own Elevate and Inner Circle community. One client who was terrified of raising her prices, she did it. And her next prospect didn't even flinch. She told me, it's like the fear was only in my head. And I'm going, yes, it was. No one sets prices apart from us. And then there's another client, another brilliant but camera shy client that committed to one 90-second video a week. By week 4, she landed a paid speaking gig. And there's another client who's been hiding behind corporate jargon for years, and she finally told her personal story in a post. That post went viral. In her niche, that post brought in 4 new inquiries. Fear was never the barrier. It was the signal. And they each used it as a compass, not as a stop sign. And right now, as I've said multiple times over the last few weeks, trust is the currency. People are being overwhelmed and overpitched, but they are still investing. And you can show these potential clients that fear doesn't have to drive the bus, that fear doesn't have to be the decision maker. You can show up in a way that shows them what's possible, that you're allowed to be scared. You're just not meant to be stuck. So here's your micro dare for this week. I'd love you to identify one fear that's been holding you back, and then ask yourself, what is a small, really small, consistent way that I can make it move forward, how I can change it? How can I make it part of your routine? How could you do it with someone so that you feel supported? This isn't about slaying fear. It's about shrinking it one day by day, one moment at a time, one post, one offer, one phone call, one brave leap into the cold water, whatever your version of the ocean is. This is about meeting it. Once again, if this episode has given you that little fire in your belly, please share it. Please tag me. Please message me. Please leave a review here and tell me, what fear are you facing this week? Because I'm going to cheer you on every step of the way. Until next time, stay bold, stay curious, and as always, keep unleashing that absolute brilliance that is yours, because the world wants you to step into your spotlight and shine. Stay curious, keep showing up, and I'll see you next week.